Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna. So, Hare Krishna everybody, and welcome to this Ananta special session. First of all, I would like to welcome the Devote disciples. And Supriya, can you please introduce?
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
You can come in the front, everybody can see you. Sounds like unembodied voice from the sky.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming today on Monday, being the start of the week, and we already have an exciting week coming up. I would warmly like to welcome today His Grace Bhagavad Ashray Prabhu and Haridas Takur. They are senior disciples of His Grace Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, and they have been serving the last 50 to 60 years, and they are coming from Australia. 60 years. And they've been 60 years, sorry. They are coming from Australia. They visit Bhakti Vedanta Manor, and Prabhuji was the first temple president at ISKCON Delhi, and wonderful, very humble, very simple, and so loving. Especially everything that they do, they remember Srila Prabhupada. So it's amazing to be with them for the last 2 weeks, so much reminding us of Srila Prabhupada. And we like to warmly welcome them by saying 3 times Hari Bol.
Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
I will give the mic now to His Grace Radha Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Mokhaladin, thank you also. This wonderful couple and Ramani, their daughter, they're hosting to this program. His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu and Damodar Prabhu are from the temple that I was living for a long time. It's Radha Gopinath Mandir in Girgaon Chowpatty, Mumbai. Prabhu has been president since 1980s. And he has been a very key personality in inspiring youth and congregation equally to practice Krishna consciousness throughout Bombay and Maharashtra, India, and outside world also, because he is the pioneer of the Gita course that we must have been, many of you might have known of this, Bhagavad Gita course. बच्चे थोड़ा रोएंगे तो साइड में लगो So Prabhu is the pioneer of the Bhagavad Gita course, and that's very popular in India. Across the world, everybody is taking that module, whatever, and it's very helpful to introduce unknown person what is Bhagavad Gita is about. And in very 5-6 days, you get a lot of understanding of the tattva, the essence of Bhagavad Gita very quickly. And he was the mastermind. And then, not only that, congregation preaching, expanding within Maharashtra like Kolhapur, other places. He's been a huge leader and inspiring force. So let us welcome His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu. Hari Bol. He was a long story. I don't want to take time, but the way he came to Krishna consciousness is a big story. Someday you should share that. He is a very he neglected many career paths just to help people who are like hearing impaired and who are not able to speak. And his brothers are all big engineers and all, but he said, no, I want to do some kind of work like this, and he did that. Then he found path of Krishna consciousness and he dedicated a lot of questions and answers. Okay, that's Radha Gopinath Prabhu. Damodar Prabhu is from IIT Bombay, and I was his so-called senior there. He was doing his BTech, I was MTech, doing MTech in IIT. MTech people are considered all outlaws people. BTech people make fun of MTech people. but he was respectful to me from day one. And yeah, he was working with nice IT industries, and then he decided to change ashram and basically not change. He was a student only, bachelor, and he joined the ashram, I think 2002 or 3, something like that, around that time. And ever since, many responsibilities. Uh, Whatever responsibility takes, he has an ability to understand and make it work in a very better way. It may or may not be his field. That's what I've seen. Any field you give him. So now he has taken this field of presenting the devotee care seminars now. So many Chinese are his followers, both of them they're doing, and he's the one who is basically following up, like the Prabhu does the preaching, and he follows up. He takes people accounts, and it keeps inspiring them to stay whatever they're doing. And before that, we both served in kitchen, the kitchen. I was the cooking in charge, and he was the overall in charge of kitchen infrastructure and everything, including cooking. And we served together for almost 10, 15 years. Huh? Still are doing actually. We are not in kitchen, but in the yatra we go together and do something there. Anyway, that was a long story, short. So now Prabhu has a very lot of intense faith in Gaur Nitai. So when he was a student, I'm from Odisha, right? We know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from childhood, but as a saint, thanks to our history books, not as God. So I had big doubts. Okay, how can he be God? Is he just a saint? So it took a long time for me to accept that, and but for him, I have seen he has a very natural attraction to Gaur. He was a student, very young person. He was carrying a bed bag with Gaur picture, and I was really moved by that in those days. And since then on, here in the temple, I give Bhagavatam classes, speaks about Chaitanya Charitamrita. Today is the right day, very auspicious. Haridas Takur disappearance day, and I'm very happy that both of them are here, and very happy that all of you are here. Come, weekday, no. So thank you all. Thank you, Prabhu. Please start. So we have a plan like that till 9 o'clock. We want to go on, including question and answer if possible. Otherwise, missed is a little bit more. Okay, is that okay? Say Haribol.
Haribol!
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Radhavana Prabhu, for your kind words. First of all, I would express it's a great honor for us, it's a great blessing for us. As Ananta Gopika Mataji said, we have the presence of His Grace Bhagavat Ashraya Prabhu and Mother Sarvamangala Devi. We seek your blessings so that we can say something which is inspiring to all of us. Hare Krishna, thank you. Thank you so much. And I also would like to express my gratitude to Mukharvan Prabhu, Mother Gopika and Ramani for hosting all of us in their home and in their hearts. So, as Radha Prabhu said, it's a very auspicious day today, day of Ananta Chaturdashi. And of course, Ananta Chaturdashi for us means discipline of Haridas Thakur, but it's a Vedic day of Vedic importance also. We'll briefly touch upon that. We'll begin with the chanting invocation prayers, remembering the Lord, remembering the spiritual master and the Vaishnavas.
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः शरीरं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतारकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna. So, it is a very auspicious, very blessed day, the day of Ananta Chaturdashi. Ananta refers to Lord Ananta. Ananta Shesha, as we know. Ananta also refers to Lord Vishnu. One of his name is Ananta, he is unlimited. And Ananta also refers to, of course, infinite, unlimited. So it is mentioned in the Vedic literature that if one worships Lord Vishnu on this particular day, then we receive infinite blessings, Ananta. Worshipping Lord Vishnu, one receives infinite blessings, and also by worshipping Lord Ananta on this day, one can overcome unlimited sins or unlimited obstacles. The sins create obstacles on the path of our devotional service. Or for the devotee, the sins would also mean offenses. So we can overcome unlimited sins, unlimited offenses by worshipping Lord Vishnu, Lord Ananta. And all of these blessings which are promised in the Vedic literature are easily achieved by chanting the holy names. Why? Because Vedic literature says in this age the best form of worship of the Lord is to chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, when asked Lord Chaitanya that you always seems to be chanting, why don't you read the Vedanta Sutras? Lord said, I am not capable to understand their meaning, and apart from that, Navamenu Kalikale Nahi Aradharm Sarva Mantra Sarana Mahe Shastra Marm. He said there is actually no religious principle in Kali Yuga superior to chanting the Lord's name. And the essence of all the Vedic advice is chanting the Lord's name. Sankirtana Pravartak Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sankirtana Yagya Tari Bhaji Se Dhanya. So, the Sankirtan Yagya, the inaugurator, Pravartak is Lord Chaitanya. And one who worships him with Sankirtan is most fortunate person. And Sankirtan yagya tare kare aradhan sai tasumid aaye Krishna charan. That person is most intelligent who worships the Lord in this age by chanting the Lord's name, by Sankirtan. So therefore, the Vedic literature glorify this day, Ananta Chaturdashi, as a day to worship the Lord Ananta, Lord Vishnu, to receive unlimited blessings. But that is easily achieved by chanting the Lord's name, because that's the best form of worship of the Lord. And the Acharya who illuminated the whole world with the glories of holy name, who inspired countless souls and continues to inspire all of us with his remembrance, his example, continues to inspire all of us in the chanting of the holy name, is Srilla Haridas Thakur. And he left, he disappeared on this particular day. So, of course, the Vaishnavas, Acharyas, their disappearance and appearance are both celebrated, because they continue to live. They continue to live in their teachings, in their example, in their legacy which they leave behind. So therefore, Haridas Thakur continues to live amongst all those who take shelter of the process of chanting the holy names. So since today is the disappearance of Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur, and of the ninefold process there are many limbs of bhakti, it's said, but the ninefold bhakti is considered to be superior amongst all the limbs of bhakti. Bhajanera madhyashreshta navavidha bhakti. So navavidha bhakti is superior. Krishna prema Krishna dite dhare Maha shakti. It has great potency to award Krishna, love for Krishna. Tare madhya sarva shreshta nama sankirtan. And amongst the ninefold process, the most important, the superior most process is Tare madhya sarva shreshta, is nama sankirtan, chanting the holy name of the Lord. And that's the main dharma of this age of Kali Yuga. And therefore, we will discuss today about the life of many about this pastime of disappearance of Haridas Thakur. He disappeared, but he illuminated our hearts, or he continues to live in our hearts and continue to inspire us in this most important dharma of Kali Yuga, chanting the Lord's name. So this is a verse where Lord Chaitanya himself glorifies Haridas Thakur. So following in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya, we will recite this verse. You can repeat behind me. Haridas Thakur Maha Bhagavat Pradhan.
Haridas Thakur Maha Bhagavat Pradhan.
Pratidin Laiteha Dhira Lakshanam.
Pratidina Layatena Dhira Lakshanam.
Haridas Thakur Maha Bhagavat Pradhan.
Haridas Thakur Maha Bhagavat Pradhan.
Pratidin Laiteha Dhira Lakshanam.
Pratidina Layatena Dhira Lakshanam.
So the meaning is quite obvious, but I would like to still maybe I can read out the translation. Paraphrase the meaning, but better to read out the translation. Haridas Thakur, the teacher of the holy name, is the most exalted of all pure devotees, Mahabhagat Pradhan. Every day he chants 300,000 holy names of the Lord. Pratidhan. Okay, so we go back to the verse. Those amongst you who would like to recite the verse, please recite in a way that will respond behind you, line by line.
Haridas Thakur Maha Bhagavat Pradhan.
Haridas Thakur Maha Bhagavat Pradhan.
Pratidina Layatena Dhira Lakshanam.
Pratidina Layatena Dhira Lakshanam.
Yes, some more devotees.
Haridas Thakur Maha Bhagavat Pradhan.
Haridas Thakur Maha Bhagavat Pradhan.
प्रतिदिनलयतेन तीनलक्षणाम्
प्रतिदिनलयतेन तीनलक्षणाम्
हरिदास ठाकुर महा भागवत प्रधान
हरिदास ठाकुर महा भागवत प्रधान
प्रतिदिन लय तेना तीन लक्षणा
प्रतिदिनलयतेन तीनलक्षणाम्
हरिदास ठाकुर महा भागवत प्रधान
हरिदास ठाकुर महा भागवत प्रधान
प्रतिदिनलयतेन तीनलक्षणाम्
प्रतिदिनलयतेन तीनलक्षणाम्
Mothers,
हरिदास ठाकुर महा भागवत प्रधान
हरिदास ठाकुर महा भागवत प्रधान
प्रतिदिन लायतेन तीन लक्षणा
प्रतिदिनलयतेन तीनलक्षणाम्
हरिदास ठाकुर महा भागवत प्रधान
हरिदास ठाकुर महा भागवत प्रधान प्रतिदिनलयतेन तीनलक्षणाम्
हरिदास ठाकुर महा भागवत प्रधान
हरिदास ठाकुर महा भागवत प्रधान प्रतिदिनलयतेन तीनलक्षणाम्
that was the sweetest recitation. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay, so we can put the display off. Just want to recite this verse, and then towards the end, if required, we'll repeat it again. Hare Krishna. So, since today is this most auspicious day of the disappearance of Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur, I will briefly narrate the story of his disappearance from 11th chapter of the Anta Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, now Haridas Thakur, he would not go to see Lord Jagannath because he is not amongst the Hindus. Even today, when you go to Jagannath Puri temple, they are, the guards are seeing who is Hindu, who is not Hindu, like that, you know. One of our brahmacharis was very fair, you know, and he looked like American. and they stopped him, wait. And he spoke in Hindi, he retorted back in Hindi. They were still not convinced. He said, Americans are also learning Hindi nowadays. He spoke in Marathi then. So they were somewhat convinced, kind of, you know. So, yeah, but they're very cautious that non-Hindus should not enter Jagannath temple. That's how it has been operating over there. And so, even Rup Sanatan, they didn't enter respecting that they were born in among the Brahmanas, but because they served the non-Hindus, the Malechas, they considered themselves outcasts. Haridas Thakur was born in that family. So therefore he himself would never attempt to also go inside Jagannath temple. But Lord Jagannath would daily come to see him in the form of Lord Chaitanya. It was Lord Chaitanya's almost daily practice. He would see Upal Bhog ceremony where Lord Chaitanya is offered a bhoga in public vision on a stone slab which is called Upal. And then Lord Chaitanya would take some Mahaprasad, the pujaris would give him some Mahaprasad, and he would bring that Mahaprasad to Haridas Thakur daily. And in case he was not able to come, then he would send Govinda. So one particular day, now Govinda is bringing Mahaprasad to Haridas Thakur. And it said that Ekadin Govind Mahaprasad Lagiya Haridas Dite Gela Anandita Haya. He is carrying Mahaprasad and is very happy, he is very jubilant. Just see that this simple gesture of bringing Mahaprasad to Haridas Thakur was a source of great happiness for him. So, in general, the simple acts of bhakti are a source of great transcendental bliss. There is a great sweetness in simplicity. So Govinda, so happy just that he's bringing Mahaprasad to Haridas Thakur. He came and he saw Haridas Thakur at Siddhabakul. When we go to Jagannath Puri, we know this place. And Haridas Thakur was lying and he was softly chanting the holy names. And Govinda came to him, he said, "Oh Haridas, please get up. I have brought Mahaprasad for you." And Haridas Thakur said, "Today I should fast. Today I am fasting," he said. "Fasting? Did I miss today some Vaishnav calendar importance day, appearance, disappearance?" He checked the Vaishnav calendar, or he inquired that, "Oh, today is supposed to be fasting day?" Sometime like we come to know a little late. We miss some fasting day. So Govinda thought, "Am I missing some important fasting day today?" He checked the Vaishnav calendar. He said, "No. For what purpose are you fasting today?" And Haridas Thakur gives the reason that I have not been able to complete my chanting the prescribed number of hours. So Haridas Thakur said, because I have not completed, he was feeling somewhat physically, he had become old. And because of physical challenges, and he was chanting a huge number of rounds, 3 lakshana, 192 rounds, practically whole day and night. So then probably the speed has reduced and he's not able to complete that number, which is his vow. So therefore he said, I can't honor Prasad. But then he says, how can I neglect Mahaprasad? This is offered to the Lord. It's not appropriate to also neglect Mahaprasad. Therefore, Haridas Thakur, he offers praise to the Mahaprasad and take a little portion of it and immediately honors that Mahaprasad. So here Haridas Thakur teaches us one important lesson, which even Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Lord Chaitanya has taught several times, that when we receive especially some Mahaprasadam which is directly offered to the deities, and someone just comes and say, "Prabhu," or "Mataji, this is some Mahaprasad for you," one should immediately with gratitude, with heart filled with gratitude, one should honor Mahaprasad and one should chant the word Jai by saying Mahaprasad. What does that word Jai means? Simply by honoring this Mahaprasad of Lord, we can conquer over illusory energy. We can conquer over all illusion. Because Uddhava in 11th canto says, Toyo upabhukta saraganda vaso lankara charchita uchishta bhojino dasastav mayam jayamahi. Oh my Lord, simply your servants can conquer over your illusory energy by honoring your Mahaprasad with a grateful heart. So this simple act of honoring Mahaprasad, if done in the right consciousness, has many profound results. Actually, many simple acts of bhakti can have a very profound result on our consciousness if we can do them properly, as taught by Lord Chaitanya and his associates. So therefore, Haridas Thakur, he says, I must fast because I haven't completed my prescribed vow yet. But I cannot neglect Mahaprasad of the Lord also. Therefore, I must honor it. So therefore, he honors a small part of it. So whenever we receive Mahaprasad, sometimes we just keep it on the side and many times we may forget it also. So it's good that we may honor a small portion immediately when we get. At that point, it's someone gives in our hand, it's a good practice to remember the Lord, take some Mahaprasad and honor it by saying Jai. We can simply conquer illusion. So this is taught by Srila Haridas Thakur over here. Okay, I'll speak for another 20 minutes or so. At the end of my talk, I will ask you what qualities of Haridas Thakur come forth in our discussion. So you can just note down. So while you are hearing, try to just note it down what qualities of Haridas Thakur are coming out from this narration of Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'll ask you. And we will just do that small interaction at the end of it, this narration. Okay, so in this way, Haridas Thakur honors the Mahaprasad. And then the next day, Lord Chaitanya comes. Often Lord Chaitanya himself would come, and Govinda also told him that yesterday he was lying down and chanting. So Lord Chaitanya became concerned also. And next day Lord Chaitanya himself come, and as soon as Lord Chaitanya comes, Haridas Thakur offers obeisances, and Lord Chaitanya asks him, Govinda, how are you doing? Are you well? Susta ho Haridas. Are you well, Haridas? And Haridas Takur gives an amazing reply. Because we all are asked this question. Are you well? How are you doing? And so on and so forth. So this is asked by Lord Chaitanya to Haridas Takur. What does Haridas Takur says? Namaskar karite ho kaila nivedan sharira susta hai mor asasta buddhi man. So Haridas Takur says, my body is well. Physically I am fit. But my mind and intelligence are not well. God says, what has happened to you? And he says, I am not able to complete my prescribed number of rounds. And Prabhupada in the purport, he says, if one cannot complete one assigned fixed number of rounds, he should be considered in a diseased condition of spiritual life. And then Prabhupada says, these 16 rounds must be chanted and chanted loudly. This is in the purport to this verse, in the 11th chapter of the Antilila. So therefore Haridas Thakur, actually he was not able to chant at that speed because he was physically becoming weak. But still he attributes that to his mind and intelligence. Now many times, sometimes we are not able to participate actively in certain activities of bhakti, not able to go to association of devotees and so on and so forth. We may not be, at times, we may miss some important spiritual activities, or even we may not be able to perform or act upon our spiritual vows with great determination or great steadfastness. It may happen. We become a bit relaxed and so on. And what do we attribute it to? Because of certain external conditions, whether the workload or the family or health and so on, external conditions. But here Haridas Thakur, he says, though he is physically ill, he says, my mind and intelligence are unwell. Why? Because if one has a strong determination, then one can overcome external limitations. The mind is strong, the intelligence is sharp, then it's easy to overcome external challenges and still have that determination and steadfastness in one's bhakti practices. So this is what Haridas Thakur teaches us over here. So but Lord Chaitanya gives an amazing reply. Lord Chaitanya knows that Haridas Thakur is not having weak determination to chant the holy names. So out of his humility he speaks like that. But Lord Chaitanya tells him, he says, Haridas, reduce your chanting of the holy name. And this is a very important devotee care lesson. Actually, we have been traveling to conduct the devotee care seminar. We conducted in Tokyo, then in Sacramento, and then we're on the way to conduct it in New Jersey. And we are here today to meet Radha Vallabh Prabhu, and he has brought us here. So, this is a very important lesson, because when some devotee is undergoing some difficulty, we may say, you chant and everything will go away. But what is Lord Chaitanya saying? He says he has become old. You reduce your chanting. Just see, the Lord Chaitanya, Sankirtana Pravartaka Shri Krishna Chaitanya, he is the one who is propagating the holy names. Right? He is the one who has brought this holy name from the spiritual world. But he sees that Haridas Thakur is having physical challenge. So as a very caring leader, he says, you can relax now. You have spent your whole life chanting and preaching. Take care of your health. Just see Lord Chaitanya's stance over here. Right? So this is one very important devotee care lesson. Okay, so caring for the body also, caring for the mind, caring for the intelligence. And not just caring for spiritual practice. Of course, spiritual practices, spiritual life is essence. But other areas of care are also essential for the devotees. So here Lord Chaitanya tells him, you can reduce your chanting. Just imagine, the Lord Chaitanya is saying that tu namacharya. So, however, Haridas Thakur does not, because his mind and intelligence are not weak. So, in a way, Lord Chaitanya shows his concern for him. He shows his concern for him. But also, Lord Chaitanya demonstrates that even if the devotee has some external challenges, a devotee should not relax on spiritual practices on his own. Other devotees should try to assist and aid. Haridas Thakur does not. Haridas Thakur says, "My Lord, please, you have been very merciful to me. I am very low born. I still need a lot of purification. I am unfit to be seen. I am unfit to be touched, but you have been very merciful to me. Now, I beg you for one last mercy." Right? So he says, "My Lord, my desire is," now he sees that he is unable to complete his vow within 24 hours. 24 hours falls short of him because of his physical weakness, so he is always chanting. So therefore he says, "My Lord, my desire is," and that seeing your beautiful form, chanting your holy name, let me not depart. So Haridas Thakur decided to leave this world while continuing his vow. Right? So now he is having great struggle to complete his vow, but still he wants to continue chanting 300,000 names daily, and before he can make a compromise, he would like to leave the body. So that is his determination, steadfastness. And he prays to the Lord, makes a prayer. And what does the Lord reply? No, he is saying, "Let me now depart." He is begging the Lord, "Allow me to leave while seeing you, your beautiful face, while chanting your name." And just see again Lord Chaitanya's affectionate reply. He says, "Prabhu kahe Haridas ye tumi magibe, Krishna kripa mai taha satya karibe." He said, "Haridas Thakur, whatever you desire, Krishna must fulfill that." And he himself is Krishna, but Lord Chaitanya was put it like that. Whatever you desire, Krishna must fulfill. Actually, whatever other desires of pure devotees are fulfilled by the Lord easily. So Satya Sankalpa, Lord himself, whatever he desires, that happens. Whatever his pure devotees desire, that also comes true. He said, whatever you desire must take place, Lord will surely fulfill your desire. But Haridas, think of me. My happiness is your association. Think of me, don't leave me behind like that. Kintu amare ye kuchu sukh sab tomahite. My happiness is your association. Therefore, it's not befitting for you to make such a prayer to Lord Krishna, because he will surely fulfill it. And I'll be bereft of your association. So don't make such a prayer, don't make such a determination. That's what Lord Chaitanya says. And Haridas Thakur says, "My Lord, please do not create any illusion for me. To assist you in your pastime, to give you happiness, there are such great devotees. I am only an insignificant insect. What difference it makes if an insect dies? What great news it makes if small insect on the road dies? Will it make any news? No one comes to know." Haridas Thakur says, "My Lord, it does not absolutely matters to anyone. My presence doesn't matter to anyone. I am just an insignificant insect. Whether I live or die will not make any difference. To assist you are great devotees. There are many shiromanis who are crown jewel of the devotees. They are source of happiness. They will assist you." This is what Haridas Thakur says. And then he says, "My Lord, you are very affectionate to your devotees. You fulfill desire of your devotees." But Haridas Thakur says, "But I am an imitation devotee. Bhaktavatsal tumi prabhu moi bhaktabhas avashya purabe prabhu morae yash." He says, "My Lord, you are Bhaktavatsal," but he doesn't say, "I am Bhakta." He says, you are affectionate to devotees, but I am an imitation devotee. Somehow, I am also dressed as a devotee. I have joined the group of devotees. I'm not a devotee. But still, because you are affectionate devotee, show your mercy to imitation devotee also, because the name devotee is attached to me. So therefore, show your mercy to me also. This is how Haridas Thakur begs. Just imagine a person who chants 300,000 names, whom Lord Chaitanya says, Haridas Thakur, when Lord Chaitanya would embrace Haridas Thakur would say, Lord, please don't touch me. I am so impure. Lord would say, I am touching you for my purification. Tomara pavitra dharma nahi ka amate. Your purified activities do not exist in me. You are so pure, I touch you for my purification. This is what Lord Chaitanya would say. And Haridas Thakur doesn't even consider himself to be a devotee. He says, I am an imitation devotee, or I am a shadow devotee. Like that. That's his. Just imagine, these words of Haridas Thakur, they are just inconceivable. Inconceivable. I remember once His Holiness Bhakti Brihad Bhagavat Maharaj, B.P. Bhagavat Maharaj, yes, I think. Okay, Bhakti Brihad Bhagavat Maharaj. He gives beautiful holy name seminar, and he at the end of the seminar he would chant 64 rounds with all the participants. So we all chanted with him, and then he said, Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur has said, those who do not chant 64 rounds daily, even Lord Chaitanya said, they are to be considered patit, fallen. So he made that statement. Because Prabhupada has mercifully given us 16 rounds. But that was standard of Srila Saraswati Thakur and Lord Chaitanya also. So he said, those who do not chant 64 rounds daily are to be considered patit. But he said, if you chant 64 rounds daily, you will realize you are patit. He made that statement. Like Haridas Thakur is here chanting 300,000 names, and he considered himself to be a imitation devotee. So Haridas Thakur makes this request, and Lord Chaitanya internally accepts it. And the next day, Lord Chaitanya comes with all the devotees, all the senior most devotees. He comes with all of them. There is Sarup Damodar Goswami, Ramanand Rai, Kashishwar Pandit, Jagadanand Pandit, Sir Mohan Bhattacharya, Kashi Mishra, many senior devotees who were staying at that time. So Lord Chaitanya comes with all of them. And in front of them, Lord Chaitanya comes and he says, Haridas Thakur. He said, Haridas, what is the news? And it's like, you may ask, what's the news? Haridas, what's the news? Haridas says, my Lord, I'm simply awaiting your mercy. I'm simply awaiting your mercy. And Lord Chaitanya has come with all his associates, right, so that Haridas Thakur is showered abundance mercy, right, because Lord Chaitanya values the blessings of his devotees more than his own mercy and blessing. So he brought all the senior most devotees so that Haridas Thakur's desire is fulfilled beyond his expectation. So he said that Lord Chaitanya immediately started Sankirtan with his devotees, while Haridas Thakur is lying. He is laying down because he is physically quite weak. He is laying down, and all the devotees are started chanting. And at one point of time, Lord Chaitanya started glorifying Haridas Thakur. And it said that while Lord Chaitanya is glorifying Haridas Thakur, it appeared that he had 5 mouths. And another time it is mentioned it appeared he has hundreds of mouths. Lord Chaitanya, while he is glorifying Haridas Thakur, and all the devotees are simply astonished, mesmerized by hearing the glories of Haridas. And Haridas Thakur himself personally, he took the dust of Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet on his head, and he took the dust of all the Vaishnavas who were present there as an ornament on his head, or the ornament of his body. And then, by his desire, he placed the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya on his chest, and while his 2 beautiful eyes, which considered like a bee's, are looking at the beautiful lotus face of Lord Chaitanya, while he is chanting the names Shri Krishna Chaitanya, speaking these names, looking at the beautiful form of the Lord, holding his lotus feet to his heart, Haridas Thakur departed. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shabda Karite Ucharan Name Rasa Hit Prana Kaila Utkraman. So reciting this Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shabda Karite Ucharan, while this name is coming, his prana also came out together. So the pran vayu, life air, is coming along with the holy name from his mouth. And all the devotees are astonished at this, how Haridas Thakur departed by his own will, just like Bhishma Dev had departed while had Krishna in front of him. They all remembered that departure of Bhishma. Then Lord Chaitanya, at this point of time, Lord Chaitanya raised the tempo of the Kirtan. And everyone loudly began chanting the Lord's name. And then during that tumultuous Kirtan, Lord Chaitanya picked up the form of Haridas Thakur. And he started dancing in great ecstasy. Many of you may have seen that beautiful painting or the photograph of Lord Chaitanya dancing with Haridas Thakur. And he's dancing, and Lord Chaitanya has forgotten everything else. And his ecstasy is increasing. But the devotees had to tell, my Lord, we must perform the final rites, give him samadhi and so on. So then the Lord came to external consciousness, and they all took Haridas Thakur first to the ocean and bathed the transcendental form, the divine form of Haridas Thakur. And all the devotees took the water which had bathed Haridas Thakur's lotus feet. Right? They drank that water, sprinkled it on their head. Although it was a salty water, but it was sweeter than Charnamrit. And Lord Chaitanya declared that today onwards, Haridas Samudra Jale Snan Karaila Prabhu Kahe Samudra Ei Mahatirtha Haila. This ocean is a Mahatirth. It's a great place of pilgrimage. Therefore, it is a vidhi, it is a norm, and the local pandas can tell you, before you see Lord Jagannath, take bath in the ocean, purify yourself, or at least do achman, and then go to see Lord Jagannath. This is a Mahatirth. So the vidhi is to first purify oneself in this ocean, take Haridas Thakur Chanamrit, and then go to see Lord Jagannath. Then all the devotees they dug some sand on the ocean beach at some distance, and then form of Haridas Thakur was put it over there, and lot of Mahaprasad items, his Mahaprasad Vastra, Mahaprasad flowers, devotees brought and put on the form of Haridas Thakur. And all the devotees with their own hand, they put the sand to cover, to give the samadhi. Lord Chaitanya himself is putting the sand, and while all the time continuously chanting the Lord's name. And then Lord Chaitanya started another tumultuous kirtan while circumambulating the samadhi. And Vakreshwar Pandit is dancing, all the devotees are chanting and dancing. And then again the devotees interrupted and said, my Lord, we should hold a feast for the devotees. It's a great discipline in the Haridas Thakur. So then Lord Chaitanya said, yes, I will go and personally beg. And he went to Anand Bazaar, as you know, where Mahaprasad is sold. He said, I'm Bhikshuk Sannyasi. I cannot buy this Mahaprasad. So therefore, I beg some Mahaprasad for you. Give me some Mahaprasad to celebrate this Vijay Utsav. Vijay Utsav means the festival of victory. And so Haridas Thakur's disappearance is described as the Haridas Thakur Vijay Utsav. I want to celebrate this festival of victory of Haridas Thakur. Please give me some Mahaprasad. And Lord Chaitanya appeal or his enthusiasm was so contagious. All those shopkeepers, they said, take everything we have. They started they have the huge cane baskets. And they started putting everything over there, those big earthen pots. They said, we will take the whole thing. Swarup Damodar Goswami interrupted. He said, no, not so much. We don't want the whole bazaar. give a 4 handful of every item. So we'll give this opportunity of service to all the shopkeepers. Give the 4 handful of every item. And all the, then Swarup Damodar Goswami organized it. So he's the organizer. Because what do they do with so much Mahaprasad? They keep and, So then he organized that certain people will carry, and he said, Lord, come with us, and Mahaprasad is coming behind, Otherwise, seeing you, all the shopkeepers say, we want to give first, we want to give first. There was a chaos here. So he suspected that. So he removed the Lord from the scene to avoid any kind of chaos and said, okay, some of you bring the Mahaprasad, give opportunity of service to everyone. Four handful, that's a measurement, The spoon in Jagannath Puri is the hand. They serve with the hand. Even till today, many times you can see that, that culture is being preserved. They serve with the hand. And therefore the four handful of each item was brought. And Lord said, I want to serve. I want to serve today. So the Swarup Damodar Goswami and other devotees made all the other Vaishnavas sit in a line. And Lord Chaitanya is serving. And Lord Chaitanya, first of all, he is, his body is big. Ajanu Lambita Gojo, Kanaka Badato, he's Mahaprabhu. His hands are also not small. His hands are big, they serve with the hand. So, Lord Chaitanya give one serve that is sufficient for 5 people. Imagine. Right? One serve, because his Mahapadanya, his heart is magnanimous, his form is big, hand is big. So he's serving what 5 people can eat in one plate. And it's Haridas Thakur's Vijayotsav, he's in great ecstasy. No one would have any indigestion. Mahaprabhu is empowering the devotees to also honor that Mahaprasad. So therefore, he serves personally all the devotees. But no one would honor Mahaprasad until Mahaprabhu would first honor. So Swarup Damodar Goswami again says, my Lord, you have to sit down and start honoring. And we will serve you. You begin, till then no one will start. So then Mahaprabhu sat down after serving all devotees. Swarup Damodar Goswami served him. And then Mahaprabhu first honored that Mahaprasad. And then all the devotees started honoring the Prasad. So while this is going on, Mahaprabhu in great ecstasy, he is in such amazing ecstasy, he wants to give blessing to all the devotees. Varadan, he wants to give var to all the devotees. Prema Vishtahaya Prabhu Karena Varadan Shuni Bhakta Ganera Judai Manaskan. So with great absorption, with overflowing love for Haridas Thakur, the Lord gave benediction to all the devotees. What did he say? Anyone who has participated in Haridas Vijayotsav today in any way, they participated in chanting and dancing, they participated in the Kirtan procession, taking his form to the ocean. Some of them took the Chanamrit, of Haridas Thakur. Some of them put some sand on his samadhi. Anyone who, or those who, honored Mahaprasad feast. Lord said, anyone who has participated in any way in this festival of victory of Haridas Thakur, they all soon will attain the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And hearing this narration is also participating in Haridas Thakur Vijayotsav. So Mahaprabhu's blessings are valid for all of us over here also. Achire hai beta sabar Krishna prapti Haridas darshane hai aiche shakti. This is his great potency. Very soon, Lord's lotus feet, his complete mercy will be attained simply by the power of Haridas Thakur, by his mercy, because he is such a great devotee. Just by his remembrance, just by chanting his name, just by his remembrance, there is such great blessing, there is such great mercy. So Lord Chaitanya gives this vardhan, and then Lord Chaitanya glorifies. He says, Krishna was so merciful. Krishna gave me such association of such a pure devotee of himself, pure devotee his. So Krishna gave me his association, and now Krishna is independent. He has removed that association. When Haridas Thakur decided to depart, I didn't have the power, to hold him back. And then Lord Chaitanya says, Haridas Chila Prithvira Shiromani. Haridas Thakur was Prithvira Shiromani. He was a crest jewel among all the devotees on this planet Earth. Taravina Ratna Shunya Haila Medini. This earth is now bereft of its most valuable jewel. Not Chaitanya says. Just see, Haridas Thakur says, I am an insignificant insect, but Lord Chaitanya says he was the topmost jewel on this planet. nor the earth is bereft of its most valuable jewel, or the earth is bereft of her good fortune. This is all Lord glorifies. And then Lord Chaitanya asks everyone, Jai Haridas Bali Kar Hari Dhwani. Lord Chaitanya says, now chant the holy names of Haridas Thakur. So chanting his name is also chanting holy names. So he said, Jai Haridas Bali Kar Hari Dhwani Eta Bali Maha Prabhu Nachina Apani. Again Lord Chaitanya started dancing. This time chanting the name of Haridas Thakur. Sabe gaye Jai 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 Haridas Name Rama Hima Yeha Kurila Prakash. Everyone, they started chanting this words, Jai Jai Haridas. And I remember in one of our yatras, Sachinandan Swami Maharaj made us chant. So following in his footsteps, I will request you to chant behind me. Jai Jai Haridas, Jai Haridas, Jai Jai Haridas, Jai Haridas. Jai Jai Haridas, Jai Haridas, Jai Jai Haridas, Jai Haridas. Once again. Jai Jai Haridas, Jai Haridas, Jai Jai Haridas, Jai Haridas. Jai Jai Haridas, Jai Haridas, Jai Jai Haridas, Jai Haridas. So all the devotees are loudly chanting the holy names of Haridas Thakur. Sabe gaye Jai 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 Haridas, Name Rama Hima Yeha Kurila Prakash. So they were saying that all glories to Haridas Thakur, he has illuminated this world and he has illuminated our hearts with the glories of the holy name. So in this way, on this auspicious day, we pray to Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur that we can increasingly take shelter of the holy names. We can have that kind of determination to chant our minimum number of rounds daily, attentively. As Prabhupada says, we must chant and we must chant attentively. So if we pray to Haridas Thakur, I am sure this day is very auspicious and Haridas Thakur will surely bring fulfillment to our prayers. And of course, Lord Chaitanya will also be very pleased if we remember Haridas Thakur, and his complete blessings will also be upon us all, and so that we may continue to chant the Lord's name, which is the supreme dharma in this age, till the last breath of our lives. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki
Jai.
Shri Gaur Nitai ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Nitai Bhakt Preman.
Hare
Krishna. Thank you. So we ended with the note that Namacharya Haridas Thakur illuminated the whole world with the glories of holy name, and Radha Kavanapur told me, you speak the story, I'll speak the glories of the holy name. So now his Radha Kavanapur will illuminate our hearts with the glories of the holy name.
But you told that you will ask qualities.
Oh yeah. Okay, thank you for reminding me. I was thinking I'm taking too much time. So 5 minutes. Now please, now you have to speak the quality just in one word or one phrase. No explanations. So through this narration or even other narrations, you can just speak one quality of Haridas Thakur. In one word or one phrase. Anyone can just.
Dedication to vows.
Dedication to vows. Very good. Dedication to vows. Yes, Prabhu.
Gratitude.
His gratitude. How?
He was always grateful of Lord Chaitanya bringing him prasad.
Bringing him prasadam and Govinda bringing prasadam. Heart was fulfilled with gratitude. Thank you.
He says his body is
Sincere.
He wasn't compromising with even a
He was sincere. Yeah, he was sincere. He did not compromise also. When Lord Krishna said you reduce, he did not. Sincere and also determined, both. Thank
He
you.
says his body is fine, but mind and intelligence are not.
So which quality we learn from him?
Determination.
Determination, humility. Determination, humility. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Humility when he considered himself to be the insect on the street.
Humility, again, such a deep humility. Again, when he considered himself to be insect on the street. Yes. So even if in past time humility may come 2-3 times, you can repeat citing another instance. Fine, good. Yes, Prabhu, Mukaran Prabhu, you raise the hand.
Sorry, so I think no entitlement. He was telling like that there are so many insects dying, and who cares? But
No entitlement. Yeah, I consider himself to be insignificant as part of humility. Fine, right? That's good. Yes, Prabhu.
Practical austerity when he couldn't follow the laws.
Practical austerity, when he could not follow the law. That's good. Yes, Mother.
Faith in Mahaprasadam.
Faith in Mahaprasadam. Faith in Mahaprasadam. Thank you. Yes, Mother Sarvamangala Devi.
He's very submissive when he agreed that he would eat it.
He's submissive and he
He didn't really want to have the.
okay, yeah, but he said Govinda is brought, so I must honor his presence and Mahaprasad, and he honored a bit. So he's submissive or flexible. So to devotees' desire also. Fine, good, thank you.
Sensitivity to surroundings.
Sensitivity to surroundings, how?
Meaning like if he's being considered externally as Muslim, he's not going to the temple and he's being sensitive to.
Okay, he's sensitive to the surrounding and the norms of the place. Yes, thank you. Yes, Prabhu?
Strong control over the mind.
Strong control over the mind. Strong control over the mind. Yes. Yes, Mother?
Do or die if I cannot finish my rounds.
If I cannot follow my vows, better let me leave. Do or die. Do or that kind of, let me always follow my vows till my last breath. That kind of desire and determination is exemplary or exemplified by Haridas Thakur. We can aspire for that. Yes, Prabhu.
Wanting to leave the body with the good consciousness.
Wanting to leave the body in good consciousness while he still has, some physical vitality. The Prabhupada will also say, Krishna, Tudiya Pada Pankaja Panjanata. Let me leave my body while I still has, while the still body is functional, still the mind and intelligence are alert. Let me leave my body. King Kulshekar also had that desire. Okay, fine. Good. Radha Prabhu.
Respectful.
He is respectful.
To Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Mahaprasad.
To Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Mahaprasad, quality of being respectful. Yes. To all the devotees also. He takes the dust off all the devotees' feet on his head. He respects all the devotees in Mahaprabhu's presence also. Yes,
I'm
Prabhu.
imitation devotee.
So what does that show?
Humility.
Humility. I'm an imitation devotee. Humility, deep humility of the heart.
He's prayerful for other devotees.
Prayerful.
When he's being beaten, also he's praying.
Oh yeah, he prayed for those who bet him. Another pastime. Yes, thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
His compassion for sharing the holy name with others.
His compassion for sharing holy name with others. Right, perfect. Well, Sarvamangala Devi. Oh, I thought you raised the hand. Oh, okay. Fine, that's good. Yes, Prabhu.
Great taste for holy names.
Great taste for holy names. Great taste for holy names. Thank you. So many qualities. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami also says, Sabha kaha na jaye Haridas Takur, keha kichu kahe karite apna pavit. I cannot fully describe the pastime and the qualities of Haridas Thakur. I will touch upon them for my verification. So then who can describe? And Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says he cannot fully describe. So therefore we cannot fully elaborate his qualities, they are unlimited. But we have touched upon part of it so that we are purified. That's the purpose. I'll summarize these qualities, all you said, acronym with the acronym Haridas. Okay, so H stands for humility. You all said that. And you already you spoke about the humility. And then A is, of course you all touched upon this all. I'm just giving a form, shape to it. He was always chanting. And the prostitute also said, when he said, I have not completed my rounds, yeah? She said, you never complete your rounds, you always chant. Right? She also remarked, I see you always chant. So Haridas Thakur is always chanting. A. So H is humility, A is always chanting. Third, R is, as Radha Guru said, respectful to Maha Prasad, respectful to the devotees. He wanted to honor and respect Maha Prasad by honoring. So he wanted to fast. I is Haridas Thakur is he's infallible because Maya Devi herself could not make him fall down. Right? He's infallible. Maya Devi says, he said, Brahma Diji Ami Sabare Mohilu Ekere Tomare Ami Mohite Narilu. I have conquered. I can make Brahma also fall down from his position. But you are infallible. You have deeply taken shelter of holy name. So he is infallible. Then D is devotee par excellence. Haridas Thakur Mahabhagavat Pradhan, that is devotee par excellence. And A is his astonishing character, as Prabhu pointed out, in forgiving even those who prosecuted him. His astonishing character, astonishing qualities, astonishing forgiveness. So he is simply astonishing. Adbhuta Charitra. Haridas Thakur Shakhar Adbhuta Charitra. This word is used. Adbhuta is astonishing. His character is astonishing. And S is, as Prabhu said, steadfast or determined. Steadfast in his vow of chanting the holy name. He would leave his body but not compromise his vows. Steadfast in vows. So these are 7 qualities acronym to Haridas. We can meditate upon them, pray to embody some of his qualities, and that will help us to, make steady spiritual progress. Hare Krishna. Thank you for reminding me, and sorry for taking so much time. Now I request Radha Gopinath Prabhu to illuminate our hearts. Take it from नहीं आ जाएगा
अमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिते नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी आचार्यदेशिका। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। I basically want to share 3 points. Firstly, as this pastime of Haridas Thakur's passing away was being described, since this whole trip we are basically focusing on devotee care. I was thinking, what is the lesson of devotee care from this pastime? Every devotee has certain needs, physical needs, emotional needs, social needs, and obviously spiritual needs. So, generally, the devotee doesn't worry about the needs, because that's our philosophy. Nadhanam, najanam, nasundari. That's what we are taught. And if he is demanding care, that's not a very healthy disposition. But the leaders, understanding that each devotee is a jewel, is dear to Krishna, is dear to Mahaprabhu, is extremely dear to Prabhupada. In New Vrindavan, Prabhupada was asked by Balivardhan Prabhu, Prabhupada, when he was showing Prabhupada Palace of Gold, he said, Prabhupada, in Krishna's palace there are jewels that is decorating So what kind of thing jewels we should put in this palace of gold? Prabhupada pointed his cane to devotee and he said, these are my jewels. So the leaders should be concerned, or the mission should be concerned about the overall and sustainable welfare and progress of devotees, while the missionaries should be thinking only about the mission selflessly. And that is the classical example shown by Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya is telling, without you I will feel a void. Lord Chaitanya is telling, Shunya hitam jagat sarvam Haridas Virahinami. Without you, Haridas, my life will be a dreary void. How can I live without you? How can you tell that you are going away? But Haridas Thakur didn't take that seriously and didn't put this statement in the Facebook and the Instagram. Okay, everyone, please know who I am. He says, I'm like an ant. If an ant goes away, what difference does it make for the whole planet? This is such an amazing Vaishnav culture. In our days, when you used to go for circus, last act was the trapeze act. I don't know if everyone knows. Everyone knows what is a trapeze act? How many of you have seen a circus? Actual circus, not on a television. We used to have this circus. So there's a huge tent, and then there are pavilion made inside for people to watch. And then there is this central place, stage. And the last act would be on the top, which is like at least 30-40 feet above the ground. There are these cradles made, and people are standing. And then there is a rope from the center with a stick. So somebody holds the rope like that, and from the cradle he just goes like that. And he comes like this, and there's another person who comes with that rope, and he catches hold of his lotus feet. And both of them go like that to the other cradle. They come like this, and another person like that. Generally, the circus is as famous as the trapeze act is complicated and intricate, and 3, 4 people dangling around, whatever. And sometimes they go like that, one twirling around, somersault, and then they catch hold of either the hand or the feet of the other person. And finally the buffoon, the joker comes, and they hold his pan, and the pan goes away and he falls. That's like the joke. So the circus company knows that these trapeze act performers are our star performers. And the name of circus is as famous as these trapeze act performers are very famous, very dexterous. And therefore, their protection, they put the net. Underneath there's a huge net. So that in case any of them have difficulty, a slip, they will land, they will not hurt themselves. And when the performers, they see the net, they feel so confident, they feel so trusted by the authorities, the leaders, that they will go extra one somersault, taking extra risk, just so that the name of the circus can be glorified. So in this way, we see Srila Prabhupada spoke the philosophy, na dhanam, na janam, na sundari. But personally he was so caring for every aspect of every devotee. About their food, about their well-being. And one time he was sitting and there was in one of these places, west I don't remember where, and he saw that many of them were shivering because it was very cold. And he told the Sankirtan leader, you should provide warm clothing to them. That, they're going Sankirtan all day long. So this is the amazing, the leader creates a sense of self-worth. I can't imagine if I tell Abhijit Prabhu, I can't understand how this seva would have been happened without you. Thank you so much. I can't imagine how this program would have happened without Radha Vallabh Prabhu taking the trouble to organize. It's a sense of self-worth. Thank you. Because of you, so many people are getting benefit. And the devotee is thinking, what difference does it make? Rather than the leader saying, na dhanam, na janam, na sundari. And the followers are demanding, dhanam, janam, sundari, okay? If you want me to distribute books tomorrow. So, this combination, the whole Vedic literatures are telling the grihasthas, and especially the grihasthas, Atithi Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. Every guest should be treated as God come in a human form. But the Atithis are told, don't take undue advantage of the hospitality of the host. That's why when Arjun was coming morose from Dwarka, one of the questions Yudhishthira asked, did you overstay and did they disrespect you? This is such an amazing combination where the people are told, Atithi Devo Bhava, and Atithi, you follow your dharma. And the grihasthas are told, follow your dharma. The society is told, give charity to the brahmanas, otherwise you go to hell. And the brahmanas are told, if you keep even one pie of the charity for your own unnecessary, unfavorable sense gratification, then you will go to a darker hell. This is such an amazing balance of focusing on the duties rather than the rights of the individual. Then the organization of the world will be such an amazing place where everyone focuses on their responsibilities than their rights. Though of course, rights will come obviously because everyone thinks of their duties. This is such an amazing, just one little incident, but it is so profound in terms of concern and care. The mission taking care of the missionaries, and the missionaries thinking only selflessly of the mission. Prabhuji's, Damodar Prabhu spoke only about the last pastime. But I would like to briefly tell, it's just like a quick fast forward of Haridas's life in 5 minutes. And then you can think of all the qualities. You don't have to tell. You can note down and memorize for till next Ananta Chaturdashi. So, he was born in Budhan, in a place which is currently in Bangladesh. Most of Lord Chaitanya, so many followers, they were all Sachimata, Jagannath Mishra, Pundrik Vidyanidhi, so many, Vasudev Datta, Mukunda Datta. We somehow had the good fortune of visiting Bangladesh in 2004 along with Srilla Radhanath Swami Maharaj and Indrulubna Maharaj. We had an amazing, just 14, 15 of us, brahmachari leaders. So it was a very nice trip. So he was born in Budhan in a family which was at that time not in a non-Hindu family. But naturally he had an attachment for the holy name. And in very early age he left home and started wandering and came to a place called Benapole. Now, the Bangladesh side of the border is called Benapole, and the Indian side of the border is called Petrapole. I don't know what means Petrapole. But in Benapole, there is a place where in a Madhvilata grove, in a small little hut, Haridas Thakur would sit and chant his 3 lakh names. That's the time, being envious of how much the innocent and general mass of people were glorifying Haridas. The zamindar, landlord, big landlord of that place, Ramchandra Khan, became envious and sent a prostitute. The localites call her Lakshahira. And she came, and right even today, there is a statue of Haridas, there is a beautiful deity of Haridas Thakur. It's like a diorama. And next to her is this prostitute with one cloth, shaven head and just one cloth to cover her body. So Radhanath Swami Maharaj was giving a talk and he said, and all of us were brahmachari, 13, 14, and he said, just imagine. And then he said, no, don't imagine. That in the middle of the night, this prostitute came and just imagine, that's the time. And then he said, no, don't imagine. Just hear. So, and then after a few days, Ramchandra Khan, the prostitute transformed. Such an amazing. Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj called that transformed prostitute as the white elephant, dancing white elephant. Prabhupada called his Western disciples as dancing white elephants. Interesting, why you call dancing white elephant? Imagine in a city where elephant comes, generally children jump out of the window. Elephant, because elephants they don't go regularly. Dogs, cats, pigeons, crows. In India at least this is a common sight. Dogs are more common here. But if an elephant goes, then children at least peep out of the window. In case that happens to be a white elephant, and the child shouts, Mama, white elephant. At least the adults will come to the window and say, Are really? Let me once at least in my lifetime see I saw a white elephant. But imagine a white elephant with two legs raised and swinging the trunk, chanting Hare Krishna. I'm sure even the dead will rise just to see once before going back. In my lifetime I never saw. So here were literally dozens of dancing white elephants. What was the touch? What is the Chintamani touch which touched the heart of devotees? Steel-like hearts, just by the touch, pure holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sitting in Dawkinson's prayer part with that boogie. Suddenly, people started dancing. They had no idea why they are dancing. It was the magic of the power and the potency of a pure name coming from the lips of a pure devotee. So the prostitute got transformed. And that created such a, word spread around such that hundreds and thousands of people wanted to see the prostitute. Earlier people would come to see the prostitute. But now they would come, by looking at the prostitute, they said, who is that touchstone who transformed this lady? And they were attracted to see Haridas now. And Haridas realized, I shouldn't stay here, like Madhavendra Puri. The devotees of the Lord, it's like Fame is like the shadow. When you run in front of the shadow runs away. But when you run away from the shadow follows. So Haridas Thakur ran away from that fame. He didn't want that. He wanted seclusion, absorption in the holy name. Param Drishtva Nivardate. He ran away from there. And then he comes to Saptagram. Because Balaram Acharya and Yadunandan Acharya, who were his kind of followers, and they were like Raghunath Das Goswami's parents, Govardhan and Hiranya Majumdar, they were like huge landowners. So Balaram Acharya called once Haridas Thakur to that a satsang program like this. Imagine, Prabhu calls for a program and somebody walks in and the preacher is speaking and suddenly one of them gets up and says, "Nonsense! This person is speaking nonsense." That's what Gopal Chakravarti, one of the impersonalists, got up and started chastising Haridas Thakur. What nonsense is this? What is he speaking? He's talking liberation comes by default. When you buy big packet of soap, you get 2 spoons free of cost, something like that. So Haridas was saying, by chanting the holy name, prema comes, and following that is liberation. So that person was so offended. He wanted to cut Haridas Thakur's nose. And Haridas, the owner of the house was so insulted that we have called a great person and this person is chastising. So threw him out. Anyway, that's a long story. But then, within 3 days, Gopal Chakravarti got a disease by which his nose started falling off. It was so painful to Haridas, he left from there. Then he came to Fulia. And in Fulia, he was on the banks of the ground, chanting loudly. 1/3 he would chant loudly, 1/3 softly, 1/3 in his mind. And everyone started getting attracted. And then it was reported to the Qazi, and the Qazi sent and beaten in 22 marketplaces. But the amazing part, and he was actually captured and brought to the governor. And as it was like a jail, like or the prison house, and through the prison house he was brought to be judged by the governor and the punishment to be given. And most of the people inside were the pious Hindus, because they were not supposed to perform any public, and they were all, so the people were very pious people, and they came to know that a very great saint is coming. So all of them, like Chataka birds, between holding the, the bars, they were desperate. Just one sight of that holy man, maybe we will get liberated from the imprisonment. If a holy man, many people come to holy man and touch just so that, all my desires are fulfilled. So, they were looking at it. And Haridas Thakur was passing by. They were taking him. Haridas looked at them and their eyes were locked. And they were just eagerly looking at him, praying and hoping that Ashirwad Baba, give blessings that we get out of this imprisoned life. And Haridas looked at them, smiled at them, and he said, "May you remain in the same situation that you are eternally." What? Haridas Thakur smiled and said, "No, you misunderstood me. Right now, you are in a very miserable position. And you are desperately looking looking at a pure devotee of the Lord with that desire that person's mercy you may get. I'm talking about this consciousness. And that's the nature of this world. Samsara Dhavan Alavida Loka. Complacency creeps in because of ignorance. If you're constantly aware of who we are, what's our constitutional position, and what is the position that we are in right now, naturally we'll desperately, just like a drowning man holds to a rope that is thrown to him by some savior in a boat. They'll hold on. And then he actually kind of pacified them. And he said, within 3-4 days you'll all be released. And that's exactly what happened. When the Qazi punished him and then he was beaten in 22 marketplaces. And when he saw that the others the people who were beating him were miserable because he was not dying. And they said that if you don't, he saw that they were in anxiety. Morning to evening they had beaten him up. And they were in anxiety. He said, why are you in anxiety? I should be the one. He said, no, you're not dying. So, if you don't die, you will be killed. He said, if my living is difficult for you, okay. Then he lied down and went into samadhi. And they were very happy. They brought him. What was like, this person doesn't deserve a decent, pious burial. Throw him in the waters. They threw him in the Ganga. He floated around and he came back again chanting. And when the governor of the land saw that, he said, he is a peer. Peer means a very, very holy man. Parama Bhagavat in their connotation. They said, you can do whatever you want. And immediately, to commemorate that particular incident, all the people in the prison were released. So that also happened. Then Haridas went from there to Shantipur and stayed with Advaitacharya. And with Advaita, they would chant the holy name regularly. And there, on the banks of the Ganga in a small place, literally Maya Devi came. This time it was not a very sweet looking best prostitute of the land. This was literally Maya Devi. And she heard the name, not 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And he said, yeah. He procrastinated her approach. But he said, let me just finish my round. So that's a nice way of telling. Now sometimes if you let me do this and then finish my round. Well, no. And I have seen when you do this, in a lesser time you can do much more than what you could have done before, provided we prioritize and emphasize on proper balance of spiritual and or other responsibilities, material. But not material, because a devotee has no material. One devotee asked Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he said, Maharaj, the full-time devotees are telling me, who is a full-time devotee? And I said, he looked at the brahmachari. Do you think they are full-time devotees? And he looked at them. Are you full-time devotees? Do you full-time think of Krishna? You are also full-time devotees, because everything that you are doing, if you are doing it as an offering to Krishna, if there is a Vaishnava family, this is Krishna's house, I should take care. If it is done in that consciousness, you are full-time. So that made us realize we are half-time or part-time. When we are chanting in the temple hall, morning 5 to 9 we are full-time. After that we are part-time. The mind is also absorbed in many other things. And at that time, suddenly one day, and she was initiated. She said, I have received this Ram Naam, which is Taraka Brahma Naam. Now I want the Prema Naam that you are chanting. And she took it. He initiated Maya Devi. So from today onwards, your name is Maha Maya Devi. Yoga Maya Devi Das. He initiated Maya Devi. Amazing. That's Haridas Thakur. That's because of his absorption. Because he is Lord Brahma, who after being humbled in the Vrindavan pastime, he begged the Lord, he did tapasya. And he said, put me in a situation where I can never be egoistic and take shelter of your name. That's how Lord Brahma appeared. Our founder Acharya of our Sampradaya appeared as Haridas Thakur, not an ordinary personality. And then one day, for no reason, they were feeling so blissful. They were dancing and chanting, he and Advaitacharya. And that was Gaur Purnima day. That was the day Lord Chaitanya was born. But they had no idea why they were feeling so blissful. why the Ganges was flowing in such, graceful way, why everyone is feeling so blissful, the yajna fire is going, burning so wonderfully. And later, when they came to know that Lord Chaitanya has appeared after coming from Gaya, he has started manifesting. Both Advaita and Haridas shifted to Navadvip. And there are so many wonderful pastimes on Navadvip when they did the mega Harinam, super mega Harinam, first public Harinam during the Kazi when the Mridanga was broke, Haridas Thakur's house, and all this wonderful pastime of Haridas Thakur in this. And then when Lord Chaitanya took sannyas, Haridas Thakur said, there is no point in living here. And that's the time he came to Jagannath Puri. When all these devotees were meeting, Mahaprabhu was being introduced by all the devotees, and he was talking to them, and he said, where is Haridas Thakur? Far away. On the ground he was lying flat for hours together. He wouldn't get up. Actually he was feeling that humble. I don't deserve this. And then Mahaprabhu had to go and pick him up and embrace him. And then personally he gave him that place very close to his own residence in Siddhabaku, near Gambhira. And there he participated in the 7 Kirtan team during Jagannath Rath Yatra and so many other wonderful pastimes. Rupa Goswami came and stayed. Sanatana Goswami came and stayed with him. And how Sanatana Goswami glorified to be Jagatera Arya. Some people preach but they don't behave well. Some behave well but don't preach. But you are an ideal example of a preacher and also an example, exemplary in your behavior. And therefore, you are Nam Acharya, perfectly living the whole Siddhanta in a very practical way. And then, of course, passing away of Haridas Thakur. The third thing that I was wanting to share on this particular day, I would really like to share. Not actually to be shared, but I will share nevertheless. Last year, I somehow got a book called The Living Name by His Holiness Sachidananda Swami Maharaj. It has 6 chapters. And I was, in my last trip, we were going to Australia, New Zealand, I carried that. And I was reading and simultaneously contemplating on these 6 chapters where Yojana, Sambandha, Seva, Vipralambha, Sharanagati and Sankalpa. These are the 6 chapters. And it was such a, like a bulb opening. I said, wow. That acted as a password which opened another file in my heart. Those 6 chapters there. And there, after that, what he essentially says is, while chanting, meditating upon what is the holy name, why are you chanting, and how one should chant. This is not there in the book, but before that I had read this. What, why, and how. What is the holy name? Abhinnatvat nama namin. Actually, the name is not different from the Lord. Which means, when we are chanting the name, that means we are inviting the Lord to come and dance on our tongue. And when Krishna dances on the tongue, the first installment is just like when Krishna danced on the hoods of Kaliya. The first installment, poison came out. Before Kaliya became humbled. Similarly, when we invite the Lord into our heart, Cheto Darpana Marjana, Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapana. The first installment is, that's why when we chant, invariably, only doing chanting, many thoughts come which otherwise don't come throughout the day. So that is the cleansing of the heart. Why are we chanting? Haranameva kevalam kalau nasti vagatir. There is no other way. Kali kale nama rupe Krishna avata. And how should one be chanting? Pranadapi Sunichena Tarori Vasaishna. It's so easy. Actually, Lord Chaitanya himself gives the purport to this. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, first Adi Lila, 17th chapter. After, when the summary of whole pastime was there. तबे विश्वांबरेर तबे शुक्लंबरेर कोइला तांडुला भक्षण हर नाम श्लोकेर कोइला अर्थ विवरण. After eating that the broken rice, chip rice of Shuklambar Brahmachari, he actually spoke about the glories. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalau nasteva nasteva gatiranyatha. Then he said, Kali kale nama rupe Krishna avatar, nama hoite hoy sarva jagata nistar. In this age, the Lord has descended in the form of the holy name. The Lord descends with Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. The Chakra and the Gada is Vinashaya Siddhishkartam. And Shankha and Padma is Paritranaya Sadhana. But Krishna has descended in Kali Yuga in the name of the holy name, in the form of the holy name. So it is 4 in 1. Namnamakari Bahudha, Nija Sarva Shakti. The holy name itself awakens the dormant divine quality in our heart and subdues all the powerful, insurmountable, oceanic negativities or the anarthas in our heart, automatically. So, and then he says, Dadhyalagi Hara Naam Ukti 3 baar, Jadalo ko bujhaite puna evaka. So he giving a purport to Hare Nama verse. So first is Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama. Why 3 times? 1 time is enough. Shastra means only once is enough. But why 3 times? Because this is Kali Yuga. This shloka is especially meant for Kali Yuga. Where everything has to be repeated, otherwise people forget. So Dadhyalagi Hare Naam Ukti 3 baar. Just to emphasize. Generally, when husband goes to the market to buy something, the wife says, don't forget a bindi. Don't bring whatever is freely available, cheaply available, or excessively available. No, bring only this 3 times. So, Dadhyalagi, Hare Ram, Ukti 3 baar. Still if the skin, like dull-headed thing doesn't, Jadaloka bujhaite puna evaka. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva. Eva is to, inject it in the dull-headed brains. Puna Evaka. So, Kevala Shabda, Punarapi, Nishchaya Karan, Jnana, Yoga, Tapa, Karma, Adi Nivaran. So there is only Hare Nama. What about Jnana, Tapa, Yoga, Karma? Kevalam. So Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva, Kevalam. Can you emphasize more? Then we say, but still, could the possibility hai kya? Any other option? Kalau, in this age of Kali, Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. So he said, Keval Shabde Punarapi Nishchaya Karan, Jnana, Yoga, Tapa, Karma, Adi Nivaran. अन्यथा ये माने तार नाही को निस्तार नाही 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 ये 3 एवकार. I mean, no one can ever emphasize more than this. इसके बाद भी नहीं समझे आपको भगवान ही बचाए. In spite of it, if we don't understand, only the Lord can say. Even Lord says, I can't say more than this. How many emphasis? How many times? Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva, Kevalam. Kalau, Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva. 8 times. No other thing will work. And then he says, how one should chant. Truna hoite niche hoiya sadala benam, apani nirabhimani anyadi bhiman. Truna hoite niche hoiya. Like a grass, who really bothers about the grass? Sit on it, stamp on it. Sometimes fast. In India, at least, stool and urine on it. Go away. It doesn't complain. You sat on me. Again it gets up. He makes you comfortable by bowing down when you sit on it. And after you leave, ready for the next customer. It's amazing. Truna hoite niche hoya sada labena apani nirabhimani anye divema. Never expecting respect for oneself and offering all respects to others. Truna hoite niche hoya. Then he says, Taru sama sahishnuta vaishnava karive. Bhatsana tadane kake kichuna bolive. One should be tolerant like a tree. Bhatsana means chastising or making allegations. Kichuna bolive. One should not speak back. We'll discuss a little bit about it later. Taru sama sahishnuta vaishnava karive. Bhatsana tadane katileha tarujena kichuna bolai. Even if you cut the tree, it never complains. Shukaiya mare tabu jalana maga. It dries up but never demands for water. Ei sama Vaishnava kare kichuna boliba ayachita vritti kimva shaka phalo khaiba. Ei sama. In this way, a Vaishnava should be humble. Ayachita vritti, without expecting anything, whatever comes of its own accord. Ayachita vritti hoya shaka phalo khai. Whatever comes, of course, after ordering, you take it, you accept it. Whatever comes by our karmic reaction and whatever our abilities or our karmic quota. Ayachita vritti kimva shaka phalo sada nama laiva yatha labhete santosh. Always chanting the holy name. Yatha labhete santosh. To be happy with whatever comes in life. Ehi to achar kare bhakti dharma posh. This behavior actually nourishes the bhakti lata bij in our heart. Then he says, Tranadapi sunichena tarori vasaishana amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari. And then it says, then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Prabhu agyay karo ei shloka acharan avashya paibe tabe Sri Krishna charan. On the order of Lord Chaitanya, he himself has given purport to this verse. On the order of Lord Chaitanya, please take this process. Prabhu agyay karo ei shloka acharan. This shloka, put it in the name of, take the string of the holy name and put this locket. Prabhu agyay karo ei shloka. On the order of Lord Chaitanya, just do this. Avashya paive tabe Sri Krishna charan. Inevitably, surely, you shall achieve the lotus feet of the Lord. When I heard this first time, I said, it's wonderful to be spoken in a Bhagavatam class. Is it really practical? It's impossible. Can you imagine you go to your boss and what to speak of your subordinate? And you say, just Prabhu, and no fallen lower than the grass and under the carpet. Does it really? Frankly, please raise your hand if you feel that wonderful, now I know how to follow it. It's impossible. The first time I heard it, I said, it's nice. It's nice to recite. It's like just to remember this. But it's impossible to practice. How do we do it? Still, how can Lord Chaitanya say this? He himself got angry. He took Sudarshan to kill Jaga and Madai, of course, for Nityananda's sake. For himself he was humble. The solution came to me when Lord Chaitanya instructed Raghunath Das Goswami. He said, when Raghunath Das was running away again, so he came to Lord Chaitanya. He's not able to run away from the household. Then Lord Chaitanya said, Markata Vairagya na karo, loka dikhaya. Don't try to act on a platform that you are not, just to show to others that you are an advanced devotee. That's the nature of the ego. The ego, individually, ego manifests as hypocrisy, and collectively, ego manifests as quarrel. Quarrel and hypocrisy, that's the age of Kali. So ego collectively is called quarreling because I know better than you. How do you know? And individually it is hypocrisy. I am something, but I want to show something else to the world. And opposite of hypocrisy is integrity, and opposite of quarrel is unity. By taking shelter of the holy name, one gradually becomes sincere to what is within, similar is without. And when ego is kept aside and seeing only on the soul level people come together, invariably they feel a deep level of oneness or unity in diversity, achintya bheda bhed, unity of intention. Everyone is here to purify their heart. Unity of purpose. We are here to please the Lord. We are here to please Srila Prabhupada, Guru and Vaishnavas. So intent, there is unity of intent, but diversity of the way we want to do it. And you can only accommodate the diversity when you appreciate the unity and respect the diversity. Yes, they are different. They are amazing. Each one is in. Krishna has accepted them. How dare you judge? So, when this understanding comes, and then Lord Chaitanya says, so don't try to externally show off to be something that you are not. Markata vairagya na karo, loka dikhaya. Yatha yogya vishay bhunja, anasakta hoya. He said, accept sense gratification. Senses are meant to be satisfied, not gratified unnecessarily. Now, what is the difference between sense satisfaction and sense gratification? Because sometimes, these words, sense gratification, so much, installed in our heart that every time you sense gratification, I like it, but should I take it or not? So he says, Yatha Yogya Vishay Bhunjan. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, what is the difference between sense gratification and sense satisfaction? Senses are meant to be satisfied. He said, if it is not unnecessary, if it is not unfavorable, and then accepted as Krishna's mercy, then that is Prasad for all the senses. Prasad doesn't mean only for the tongue. Bhojana means for all the senses. What is necessary, what is favorable, and even if it is necessary and favorable, accepted as mercy of the Lord. And with a grateful heart. Then you are safe, then you are protected. Yatha yogya vishay bhanja anasakta, and becoming indifferent. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1.3.33, Prabhupada writes a brilliant statement. He says, self-realization means to become serious about the self, the soul, and indifferent to the gross and subtle body. Which means, conditioned life means becoming serious about the need of the gross and subtle body and indifferent to the need of the soul. If it comes, okay. If it doesn't come, Haribol. That's the reverse. But indifference doesn't mean premature and immature detachment. That's the problem. Sometimes we try to give up externally, but internally it's not possible. Rather than that, gradually, naturally, organically becoming indifferent. If it comes, wonderful. If it doesn't, okay. Am I getting disturbed? Yatha yogya vishay bhunja ana. Then he gives the formula which answered this question of mine, which is burning in my heart. How do I practically follow this? He says, Antare nishtha karo bahye loka vyavahar Achirat Krishna tomai koribe uta. Internally, this should be our aspiration. Internally, I want to be like that. But externally, deal with the circumstances. The problem is, externally we try to act like this, and internally we are boiling. That's the difficulty. So real advancement, that's why it should be Prabhupada writes in 3.33 Bhagavad Gita. What does repression accomplish? What are the words? Nigraha kim karishati. What? Indriya 3.33.
Even a man of knowledge follows.
Yeah, what are the words?
Even a man of knowledge follows his nature. What good
Sadrisam.
does repression accomplish?
Yeah. And the Sanskrit words?
Sadrisham.
Saha sadrisham cheshtate swasyaha prakritirya prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishati. To the extent sometimes superficially and immaturely or prematurely we try to suppress, and one day it comes in such a way, like a Frankenstein, it rises up and you wonder, is this me? So he says, Antara nishtha karo. Within should be aspiration, while bahya loka vyavahar, and be practical in this world. And this is exactly what Krishna says in the Gita. 8.7. He says, Satatam, always you remember me, but Mam anusmara yuddhecha. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. 24 hours. Mam anusmara, within you remember me, and externally fight. Earlier he was acting externally, but internally getting disturbed. Therefore he was in a dilemma in the first chapter. But now he was told, internally this is your aspiration. Be detached from the result. Fight as if you have to win. Work as if everything depends on you. And pray as if, not knowing fully well that without the sanction of the Lord, nothing will happen. So this internal balance is exactly what Gita is, and the Bhagavatam and the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And here we find what an amazing example of Haridas Thakur. Internally is actually, it's not humility. It's not humility. That's his humility, of course. But it's not that he is, to be sounding a little humble, he's saying that he's actually feeling like that. When Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that, I'm sinful person, I'm sin personified, anyone who chants my name will become sinful and lower than a worm in stool. He's actually feeling like that. And therefore, the Lord is considering him a jewel among the best jewel of the world, of Vaishnavas. So it's such an amazing thing. Anyway, so these are a few thoughts I just thought on this day of Srila Haridas Thakur's Disciplines Day. He came and Lord Chaitanya utilized different devotees to glorify different qualities. And especially Namacharya Haridas Thakur, because holy name is our Yuga Dharma and Lord Chaitanya is Yuga Avatar. And he specifically chose Haridas Thakur to show what should be the consciousness to actually achieve success in this day and age of Kali. So it's an amazing exemplification of this verse, Pranadapi Sunichi. His personification is Haridas Thakur. So it's a nice day to meditate, introspect, pray, and try to assimilate even a tiny insignificant drop of the oceanic qualities that these great personalities, each of Lord Chaitanya's associates, they can deliver the whole universe. Brahmanda karite shakti dhare jane jane. Each of them is enough to deliver the whole universe. That's the amount of compassion these personalities have. We can absolutely not imitate, but we can try someday to take one baby step, small baby step towards following in their footsteps. Srilla Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mukharvind Prabhu, I was just thinking that we can end with 5 minutes kirtan since it's an auspicious discipline in Devanamacharya had the toggle. We started with the kirtan, we can have 5 minutes kirtan.
Yes.
After that, if anyone wants to ask any question, we'll be available here personally.
And we can serve
And,
prasadam.
yeah, we can serve prasadam also. Right?
Sure.
So,
Sounds good.
because someone to lead the kirtan.
You will like.
Okay, someone else can lead the kirtan. Because somebody else is powerful. When we can start serving also.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Like you can stand and stretch yourself.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
की
So let's give a big round of applause to His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu and His Grace for such a nectarian Ananta Chaturdashi and celebrating and sharing the glories of Thakur Haridas. I'm sure that this will go deeper in all of our works and take the instructions, take the teachings, take the qualities that both Prabhu has so kindly, graciously glorified. Let's pray that qualities can go deeper into our heart and we can take shelter of the holy name as they instructed. So we're so grateful to both of you for coming here and keeping us in your orbit here to keep inspiring us in the chanting, and so many nice points you brought about the community building and how we can take care of the devotees and along with progress in our Krishna consciousness. So thank you so much for your association, and we hope that we can get again as soon as possible Krishna's grace again our association. Thank you once again. Hare Krishna. Yes, I also would like to thank our dear Radha Vallabh Prabhu for kindly arranging this whole, he's like orchestrator of this whole program and he's behind, but we would like to kindly acknowledge Radha Vallabh Prabhu and Grace Hanspray kindly arranging this trip for Prabhu so that we can get the association. And we'd like to also thank all the volunteers who came and cooked for the Prasad, arranged the various things. So also singers and so let's give a big round of Haribol to all the volunteers for this program. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. So Prasadam is getting served in the garage area. Please you can take and honor, and also Prabhus are available for if any questions or for a few minutes if you have to quickly. Okay, one on one. Yeah, if you would like to say and ask something, can. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Haribol. And also like to raise Praveen Prabhu. Yeah, he's our Guru Darshan, like a what you call in the Mahabharata Sanjay. So he is like a Sanjay for our whole ISV. He broadcasts the whole program so that people from all over the world can watch. So also we like to thank all our online audience who has joined us from different parts. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.